See, um, see, everybody has a mother, except maybe in Greek mythology, Minerva sprang from the head of Zeus as a full-blown human being. But that is mythology. In reality, even honeybee, every honeybee has a mother, even though male honeybee doesn't have a father, they have only mother. Okay, female honeybees, workers, and queens, they have father and mother. Now, humans have mother. Okay, except maybe we can say biblically Adam and Eve didn't have mother. Okay, now some mothers are so smart, they don't have much to throw away in the kitchen. Whatever leftover little pieces here, something there, they can combine them together to make delicious dishes. And that is what I am trying to do today. We talked about a few things and some leftovers are there. I'm going to combine them and make you as delicious as you would want to be. Okay? Now, we were talking last time about the spectrum, about the visible spectrum and how the waves work and how the wavelength is there. And I told you our visible spectrum, which we see from violet to red or red to violet, they are a tiny segment of the light of the electromagnetic radiations, okay, which we know about. Now, the 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. That means a nanometer is if a meter can be divided into a billion, one followed by 9 zeros, a billion segments. One of the segment will have a length of 1 nanometer. That is the wavelength of the visible light. Okay, 400 nanometer for violet and 700 for red, other colors in between. Okay, now you can go both to left and right. Okay, so after red, bigger wavelength, red has a wavelength of 700 nanometer. More than 700, we have infrared. Okay, and after infrared, we have microwaves. Even after microwave, we have radio waves. Okay, they are much higher wavelength. That means much lesser energy than the visible light. Now, in visible light, the highest energy I told is for violet. Okay, that is 400 nanometer. Now, after violet, we have ultraviolet. Now, a funny thing, we cannot see either infrared or ultraviolet. Okay, infrared is the region where we get the heat in the spectrum, heat radiation. Okay, ultraviolet we cannot see, but we can see it from by taking pictures, photographic plate. We can get the picture of that. Okay. Now, even though we cannot see them, there are some snakes who can see infrared, and some insects like honeybee or wasp, they can see ultraviolet. So we are not that special. We just happen to be living there, but there are animals or insects who can have much more potential capability than we have. Like even hearing, we can hear 20 to 20,000 vibrations per second. Okay, dog can hear much more than that. That is why sometimes people say that there are some ghosts coming. Because dog is barking, you don't hear anything. Because our ears don't perceive any sound. Okay. Now, if you go to higher frequency, means lesser wavelength. I told you the violet has 400 nanometer. Less than 400 is ultraviolet. Even less than ultraviolet is X-rays. Okay. And X-ray will go, the wavelength will decrease further and further, and it can go to gamma rays. Gamma rays, if you divide a meter into 1 followed by 16 zeros. If you can divide a meter into that small pieces, that tiny component, that is the wavelength of a gamma ray. Okay, so it can go in that direction so much. Tiny, tiny, tiny means higher and higher and higher energy. Okay, we cannot see X-ray either, but we can get X-ray of our body to get the shape of the bones and all. If bone is broken, we use X-ray. Now, what about the other direction? We can have up to 1 kilometer or more than that. Okay, of wavelength. That is what microwave is. or what radio waves are. Radio waves are humongous waves, okay? And the length between two crests of a wave can be so high, okay? So these things are important for us to know. Another funny thing is, as people get older, okay, their ability to hear. There's some people, most of the older people wear glass because their vision gets have problem. Also hearing. The higher frequency sound, about 18,000, 20,000, which is the maximum limit, older people will lose that ability. Kids can hear that, older people cannot, okay? So don't you feel that it is a delicious information, just like a side dish?